Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Uzo Okoye. Do you remember Okoye from the Black Panther? She was a warrior princess. Guess what? I'm a warrior princess. Are you a warrior princess or prince? Are you unique? We can be anything we want to be. So right now, go on, tell me who you are. I'm special. I'm unique. I'm a warrior princess. I am strong. I am bold. I like to read. Go on, tell me about you. I am unique. Yes, I am unique. You and I, we can be anything we want to be. It doesn't matter what anybody says or thinks. I am special. Say that to yourself. Yes, you are. So today, as every weekday at 11:30 a.m., from now to the end of lockdown, we are going to be reading 2 stories. So we'll pick a story from here. Can you see that? Yep, that's what we'll be reading today. And we'll be reading another story. We are going to be reading, wait for it. No, it's a mystery. But I'll give you a clue. I'll give you a clue. Now, the clue is, it's a story about a boy and a girl. They overcome real difficulties. They try to fix their problem in the woods. But I wouldn't tell you the name of the story. If you think you know the name of the story, put it down in the comment section. Okay, so we have something that we need to do. Remember, we said we are anything we want to be. I am strong. You've got the power today. You've got the power. Hello, Okenna. You've got the power to support me. How, you may ask? Hit the share button. If you see the share button, click on the share button and support me so we can reach lots of children. They get to see us. They get to see this video. So remember our song from last week. Subscribe, like, share, and the actions that go with it. So let's give it a go today. Subscribe, like, share. Come on now, subscribe, like, share. Subscribe, like, share. So if you're watching, if you're on YouTube, subscribe. But right now on Facebook, hit the share button so lots and lots of children can watch this video also. Oh, hello. Hi, I can see Stephanie. She's on board. Hi, Stephanie. Okay, so now hit the share button whilst you're watching this. And then we go on to traveling the world. Remember last week, we had a bumpy landing, didn't we? It was a bumpy landing by the pilot. However, we're still excited. We landed safely. And I said I was going to tell you where we landed, didn't I? Okay, close your eyes and let's go on our journey. So we landed. The little baby is a bit scared, but mommy reassures him. He's all right. You're excited. And guess where we are? We are in Tenerife. Yes, we are. Beautiful, beautiful Tenerife. You're so excited. You grab your things, you get your luggage out of the aircraft and you go through customs. You're so excited and you're onto the bus. And the bus is transferring you to your hotel. You can't wait to get in. You look out of the window and there are lots and lots of holiday makers. The sun up there is bright. The sky is blue. And look over there. Can you see the sea? Can you see the sea in the distance? You're filled with so much excitement. And guess what? You're at the hotel. You look out. Oh, you want to go and join in the pool. But mommy says, be patient. We need to check in. Then mommy and daddy, they do the check-in. You're in the hotel. It's a beautiful room. You go on your bed and you're jumping up and down. You're having so much fun already. You get in your swimming costume, you and your brother and sister. And guess what? You're out. Mommy says, won't you have some food? No, later. I'm fine, mommy. I'm fine. And you rush out and you take a few steps back when you get to the swimming pool. And guess what? Water bombed! And you run with all your might. You jump high into the sky. And guess what? Splash! And you splash into the water. That was so much fun, wasn't it? You're in Tenerife. But we went there with our imagination. Okay, so now what are we going to do next? We're going to read our book now. Today's story is The Dreamer. I'll call him The Dreamer. I'll show you the picture of him here. You can see he has a coat of many colors. So let's get started. Joseph the Dreamer, I gave up the name of the story. Jacob was one of the wealthiest men in Canaan. He had vast herds of cattle, sheep, goats, camels, donkeys, and he owned many tents filled with possessions. However, the thing he held most dear was Joseph, his 11th son. Joseph's mother was Jacob's true love, Rachel. The couple waited for many years before God sent them a child. So long that Jacob had 10 sons by 3 other wives by then. So Joseph was very special. Unfortunately, Jacob made it obvious that Joseph was his favorite. I smell trouble. I can always tell where the trouble is. Unfortunately, Jacob made it obvious that Joseph was his favorite. He sometimes kept Joseph at home with him while his other sons went into the fields on farming duties. Of course, this made Jacob's other sons resentful of their brother, even more so when Joseph turned 17. Jacob had an expensive coat made for him. It was a beautiful long coat with big sleeves, richly sewn with many different colors. It drove Jacob's other sons wild with jealousy. The situation went from bad to worse when Joseph began to have strange dreams. This is probably why they called him the dreamer. Guess what? He asked his brothers one morning. Last night, I dreamt that we were in the fields at harvest time, tying the wheat into sheaves when my sheaves stood up straight. Then your sheaves gathered around it and bowed to mine. Oh dear. Who do you think you are? Spat one of his brothers. Do you see yourself as better than us? Another growled. Do you think you're going to be king and rule over us? Scowled the third. A little while later, Joseph had another odd dream and again made the mistake of telling his brothers about it. I dreamt last night that I saw the sun, the moon, and 11 stars bowing down to me. The brothers knew that Joseph meant that their father and mother and 11 of them were like his servants. How furious they were! One day, When Jacob had kept Joseph at home with him and sent his other sons out to work, he decided to send Joseph to check up on them. That was his mistake, because they didn't like him, did they? Nah. Out in the hot fields, the tired, thirsty brothers saw him coming fresh from home, all dressed up in his fancy coat, and they had a terrible idea. "Here comes the dreamer," one of them said. "I wish we could get rid of him once and for all." "Well, this is our chance," another said. Bad idea, I think." "There's no one around. It's the perfect opportunity," a third brother agreed. "Let's throw his body into that pit over there," another brother urged. "We could tell our father that he was attacked by a wild animal," one lad suggested. "Stop it!" cried the eldest brother, Reuben, horrified. "We can't do that to Joseph. Do you really want to do that to your brother? If you must do that, let's leave him in the well over there, but don't kill him." Reuben intended that once they have left him there, he'll sneak back into the well and rescue his brother. And that's what the brothers did. They fell on Joseph, ripped off his special coat, and then lowered him into the dried up well, taking away the rope so that he can't escape. Oh dear. Pleased with themselves, the brothers ignored Joseph's cries for help and sat down to eat, all except Reuben. He didn't feel like joining in. He stumped off on his own to see animals in the furthest pastures. While Reuben was gone, a camel train of spice traders came passing by on their way to Egypt. One of the brothers, Judah, had another awful idea. He said, "I have a better plan. We'll sell Joseph instead. I'm sure the traders will pay a good price for a slave." By the time Reuben returned, Judah and the brothers had accepted 20 pieces of silver and sold their brother Joseph as a slave. "What have you done?" Reuben cried. "Shame on you, Judah. How could you do that to your own brother?" "What are we going to tell Dad?" In desperation, the brothers came up with a final part to their wicked plan. They killed a young goat, dipped Joseph's torn coat in its blood, and took it home to show their father. Joseph was killed and eaten by wild animals, they lied to Jacob. The old man was so sad. He was so sad and mourned for his beloved Joseph. "I will grieve for him," he said. And that's the end of today's story. Spoiler alert, it doesn't all end that way. So the whole of this week we'll be looking at the rest of the story about Joseph, because it didn't all end like this, I have to say. Did you like that? I liked that. It was lovely. It was. The only part I didn't like was Joseph showing off. Do you sometimes show off? If you do, it could make others not like you, don't you think? It's always good not to show off, okay? If you have something special, don't go and say, "Oh, that's my coat. It's beautiful, isn't it?" No, others could not like you. So we'll try not to show off next time. Okay, good. Now, I have a few people that have just joined us. I can see Elizabeth. I can see Toby and Chima. And yes, there's Okenna and there's Stephanie. So everybody, whilst you're watching, please hit the share button or host a party so others can join in and watch. So now we are going to our second story for the day. Did you guess the name of the story? About the brother and the sister? The brother and the sister who overcame difficulties. I'll show it to you. And drum roll. Hansel and Gretel. Hansel and Gretel. Do you like that story? Hi, Chinedu. Hi, Chinwe. It's good to see you here. I hope the kids are watching and having so much fun. Brilliant. Put down the name of the children that are watching so I can acknowledge them. Okay, so we'll get started with this story. Can you see the picture? Okay. This story begins with someone's tummy rumbling. Grrr. Have your stomach ever rumbled? Mine has. Little Hansel and Gretel hadn't had any food to eat. They were very hungry. Hansel and Gretel heard their mean old aunt whisper to their father. "Get rid of the children," she said. "Then we will have enough to eat." The children were sad and hungry. They didn't know what to do. The next day, the children were led into the woods. Soon they were far from home. But Hansel was clever. He had a crust of bread and he left a trail of crumbs. "I have a plan," Hansel told Gretel. Okay? Hansel and Gretel were left all alone in the dark woods. "Don't worry," said Hansel. "We'll follow the trail of bread home again." But a little bird had eaten all the bread. Now they were lost. "Don't worry," Gretel said Hansel bravely. "I will look after you." Oh, that is so lovely. Instead of brothers turning on each other, this is a brother and sister looking out for each other. Oh, that is so sweet. And he really is looking after her. Can you see that? Okay. Before long, it got dark. Hansel and Gretel made a little fire to keep warm. There were strange noises in the woods. They were too hungry and scared to go to sleep. Tweet-too! 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 "What was that?" cried Gretel. "It was an owl," said Hansel. The next day, Hansel and Gretel wandered through the woods until they came to a funny little house. "It's made of sweets," said Gretel. They stopped to eat a bit of the little house. It wasn't theirs, and they were stopping to eat it. "I smell trouble." Can you see them? Can you see? It's not theirs. They shouldn't be eating it. "I'm scared now. I'm worried." Suddenly, an old woman came out. "Who is eating my little house?" asked the old woman. "Sorry," said Hansel. "We didn't know it was your house," said Gretel. "I will give you ham and jam," said the old woman. So Hansel and Gretel went inside the house, the little house. "Oh dear, I smell trouble. Should you go into a stranger's house?" "I don't think so." The old woman gave Hansel and Gretel a big supper and sent them off to bed. But Gretel did not go to sleep. He's a wise person, isn't he? She heard the old woman cackling to herself. She was really a witch, and she had a wicked plan. "I will feed the boy to make him big and fat. Then I will eat him up." Gretel told Hansel about the witch's plan. That's the picture. The next day, the old witch locked Hansel in a cage. The witch made Gretel give Hansel lots of food to make him fat. But Gretel was clever. She had a plan. The old witch could not see very well. Gretel gave Hansel an old bone to pretend it was his finger. Not fat yet, thought the witch. So that's him putting out the bone and showing it to the witch. Clever ideas. One day, the old witch couldn't wait any longer. Fat or not, Hansel will be my dinner, she cackled. But the oven isn't hot, said Gretel. Nonsense, said the witch, and she opened the oven. Quick as a flash, Gretel pushed her in and shut the door. And that was the end of the witch. At last, Hansel and Gretel escaped from the witch's house. And can you guess who was looking for them? Guess? Can you guess? The children's father. He found them in the woods and took them home. The mean old auntie had gone away and they never saw her again. Their father gave them a big hug. Can you give yourself a big hug? Thank you for joining in today. I have a few people on here. I would like to do a quick shout out. People who have joined. I have Chidubem, Hector, and Chizaram. They are here. Amarachi, Kachasi, Somto, and Ogo. Hi, guys. It's great to have you here. What I said at the beginning is you have the power. You have the power, don't you? Support me with your power by hitting the share button so that lots of children can see this video. Thank you. But one other thing I want us to do that we did at the beginning was we said, I am special. That's what I think I am. I am unique. Tell me about you. What are you? Are you special? Say, I am special. Remember, it doesn't matter what anybody says. It only matters what you think and believe about yourself. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. Don't forget to share, and we'll be here tomorrow again at 11:30 a.m. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye. Oh, Ayotoni and Ayotofumi is here also. Thank you, guys. Bye. Take care.